I'm Luna, the ugly girl who created a new era for supermodels, and this is my story. But before that, please like and subscribe to the video channel. My mother and I lived together in a large villa since childhood. She was a famous supermodel, the woman who was sought after by top brands and the dream of many men. However, in order to focus on her work and love me wholeheartedly, she refused all marriage proposals. My mother was the ideal role model that I aspired to be when I grow up. Although I grew up in the love of my mother, I still thought that I am her child every time I look in the mirror. My mother had a small face with a high nose bridge and smooth white skin. That feature had transformed into a large face with an angular jaw like a man and a round nose, not to mention brown skin and more freckles. My mother had long legs and very nice proportions, but I had a longer upper body than my legs. Neighbors always looked puzzled when the two of us went out together. "Look, that's an adopted child, isn't it? Why did she give birth to such an ugly child?" I didn't care about those words because she always knew how to make me happy. She covered my ears and led me away with candy, then said, "They don't know anything. These freckles are little stars. Everything about Luna is from me. You don't need to live by anyone's standards." She hugged me and kissed me on the forehead. Every time she said that, I thought I was the most beautiful and special girl in the world. Despite those shortcomings, I still dreamed of becoming a supermodel like my mother, so that every time I watched her show on TV, I tried to imitate her spirit and graceful steps. My mother also pampered me. Every time she came home, she held my hand and we will act again like in delight. "Hooray, Luna! You're so good!" Every year on my birthday, I wish I would become a famous supermodel like my mother and demand that she had to buy me a sparkling heels and beautiful clothes. Let's make a wish, Luna. I wish I could become a famous model like you. When I was 16, my mother agreed to sign me up for a supermodel class. The day before, I felt so excited that I couldn't sleep and kept asking my mother, "What do you think I should wear to the opening of the class? Will everyone there welcome me? I'll do my best to become a model like you." My mother took my hand and said in an affectionate voice, "My dear daughter will surely succeed. I always support you with all my heart." "Yes, I will make you proud one day." Mom's words gave me more motivation to dream and try to follow my dreams. However, on the first day of class, I felt that I was far from the finish line of becoming a model. All of my classmates had perfect faces and perfect bodies. Even the teachers who accepted me couldn't hide their apprehensive eyes. They were sure I wouldn't be able to become a model because the minimum of a real model is height that I didn't have. When the teacher asked the class to line up, I looked at myself in the mirror and felt like a duck among swans. My classmates also did not value my participation in the class. They just finished their practice and sat around in a circle to talk. I couldn't find any openings to join. I huddled in a self-practice corner. Everyone created boundaries with me because of the difference. Even someone said straight to my face, "You shouldn't waste time in the class because a duck never turns into a swan by effort." If you were me then, how would you feel? Please comment to let me know. At that time, even though I was angry, I was still full of confidence because my mother is a supermodel and I could definitely do it. So I had the courage to reply, "Then you better wash your eyes and wait for miracles because I'll definitely make a difference." I ignored all the scornful glances and whispers, and with great motivation, I thought I could definitely do it. As you'll know, words and reality were sometimes very different. At first, I worked very hard. I even stayed after to do the extra practice, but I quickly realized The difficulties because of my disproportionate body and ugly face. The clothes that other friends wear turned out pretty, but I turned into a joke. With our perfect faces, every expression can make a great picture. But even I imitated my mother's spirit. The ugly face couldn't show pride. After a month of trying, I finally gave up. I put away my model class uniform and the high heels my mom bought me for practice. It seemed that ducks really couldn't turn into swans with just effort. At this moment, my mother passed by. "Oh dear, why didn't you come to class today?" Since then, my mother had always been my fulcrum. Hearing her voice makes my resentments and sadness rush back. I didn't dare to cry in front of my mother. I could not disappoint her, so I clenched my fist and stood up as strongly as I could.
Mom, I think I don't like modeling anymore. It seems I'm suitable for a different subject.
My mother hugged me. She patted my hand and said, "What about the contest to become a model representative of the brand that you always have dreamed at the end of next year? Did something bad happen in class? You know, Luna, I always listen and stand by you." To have more motivation to practice, I asked my mother to register for a contest to choose a model to represent a famous brand. But looking at the poster, introducing the contest, I felt like failure. I definitely couldn't win. Even getting into the top 10 was unlikely because their faces need to be much prettier than mine. Practicing could not improve this physical ugliness. I shook my head at my mother.
I've already canceled my participation. I'm fine. Everyone in the class is really good. I just feel like I don't have enough motivation to try harder.
My mother smiled beautifully. "Darling, then you will find yourself a true passion, and pursuing that passion will bring you happiness." I also smiled and nodded. Although I still wanted to be a model, I was also realistic enough to realize that my ability was not enough. The sadness of not being able to pursue my dream gradually lessened day by day. I began to look for other joys. While surfing social media, I suddenly discovered a post with thousands of followers, on which there was a picture of me with a prominent headline.
The supermodel's daughter is finally revealed.
Below are hundreds of comments that share the same opinion.
Oh my God, is this really a reputable newspaper? The girl's face doesn't look like her mother, if not ugly.
Oh, look at her short legs. Is this genetic degeneration?
I think this is a plot to bring down a supermodel. Maybe that ugly girl gets paid to humiliate the celebrity.
My mind was blown with their insults, and for the next day, I couldn't even walk out the door. My mother turned down many advertising contracts to stay at home to encourage me. I rushed to my mother's lap and cried. "Why was I born so ugly? I feel so bad. I'm sorry that I let you down." My mother hugged me tightly and comforted me. "No, Luna, you've never been ugly. It's just that they still can't see your beauty. What they think is not necessarily true. You are the most special. You're like a flower roses hidden in the thorns. One day, you will convince them." Thanks to my mother's encouragement, I regained my resolve. I unlocked the box, took out my training kit, and went to class again. I must make those who laughed at me regret. This was Luna's revenge. My efforts made teachers and other students admire. The people who told me not to come here in the past even bought water and helped me correct my gait. On the day of the exam, I prepared everything. I confidently said goodbye to my mother.
Mom, I will shine today and make those who once laughed at us regret.
My mother smiled and gestured to me to try. "Our Luna is number 1. Calm down and win the first prize. It's a pity that I can't be with you today." My mother had just finished speaking when a large car came and took her away. I clenched my fist with determination and headed for the competition. At the contest, where the contestants came in one respectively, I was thrilled to hear my name being called out during the award ceremony because all my efforts were put into this contest. I was looking forward to seeing my mother here now, but she was busy with work and promised to pick me up at home. I took a deep breath and closed my eyes. Holding my breath, and the publisher finally opened the envelope and read,
The winner of the contest and received the opportunity to become a model representative of the brand is...
I recited, Luna, Luna, Luna in my head. But the name he pronounced was very different from mine. Although I practiced harder than the hardest person and tried my best in all competitions, the result was still not me, but a girl with white skin and long legs. I returned home very sad. On the way, I pulled down my hood, trying not to let people see my ugly, contorted face. As I was crossing the street at an intersection, a middle-aged woman behind me shouted,
"Robbery! Oh my God, my bag! Catch him!"
Without thinking much, I turned around. A masked man wearing black clothes shoved the woman and ran away. I quickly chased. Because of my agility, I caught the robber by the back of the neck and pinned him to the ground. The woman got the bag back, and the robber was arrested by the police soon after. The woman kept holding my hand and thanking me profusely.
What a brave and kind girl! Thank you very much. Here is my business card. If you have any problems, please contact me, and I will do my best to help you.
I received a business card from the woman, and to my surprise, she was the owner of a famous brand looking for a model. After knowing about my situation, the woman agreed to let me try the job for a month. Unexpectedly, a sudden thing brought an opportunity that I spent half of the year trying and still not succeeding. I was excited to return home to meet my mother, who threw a small party to celebrate. I was about to have my first photo shoot.
I know little Luna will succeed. You're my angel. Let's get fighting, girl.
Thank you, Mom. It's all thanks to you.
I happily replied. I was so looking forward to the brand photo shoot that I couldn't sleep because I thought it was all just a dream. The photo shoot went very smoothly because I practiced carefully and learned about the brand, so I was able to complete the concepts quickly. The woman was also very pleased with the pictures.
You know what, Luna? The fit is many times better than the perfect. You may not have the perfect face and body, but that can be an advantage.
The theme of the brand was to be different and shine. It coincided with my situation, and inadvertently, my story had become an inspiration to millions of people around the world after the photos were released. I felt extremely satisfied when I saw that there were so many positive comments.
Actually, the freckles on her face are a highlight. They are stars that make her face more impressive.
What an extraordinary girl!
She showed us that nothing is impossible. Break all limits and move on with yourself.
After a month of successful probationary work, I signed a contract with that woman's brand and received a series of other contracts. Not only becoming an expensive model, I was also an example for many young girls who were self-conscious about their appearance. I also became a leader for other disruptive fashion trends and broke many of the strict standards of modeling.